Welcome to the Defense and Aerospace Report. I'm Vago Muradian here at the Pacific Resident Theater in Venice, California, where we're talking to Michelle Collis-Brooks and Steve Grunman. Michelle is a playwright. Steve Grunman, of course, with the Atlantic Council. Michelle, tell us about your latest project, War Words.
So War Words is a project, for the last couple of years I've been interviewing people who have served in Iraq and Afghanistan during the Long War. As somebody who didn't know anybody who served, I wanted to find out what motivated people to join the military. So I interviewed a number of people and have fashioned their interviews into monologues and some dialogue, and we're putting it on stage to see what happens.
And what's the overall story that they have to tell?
Well, they're all telling different stories. The important thing is that they're telling personal stories so that we who don't know people who serve get to know them personally. So some of the stories are very funny about their experiences. Some of them are truly heartbreaking.
Steve, you were a distinguished captain in the United States Army, but now are with the Atlantic Council. Talk to us about how the Council became involved in this.
Sure. So one of the upshots of events of 2016 at the Atlantic Council was some new programming priorities. One of those programming priorities, which was a response to what one might think of as a rejection, a populist rejection of globalization, was to add some programming to the Council's events that tried to reinforce support for American leadership in the world. And so I took that mandate from our CEO, Fred Kemp, and through a confluence of events, it wasn't linear, decided to put my muscle behind this, which we're hoping if an audience seeing this, and we hope it'll become a big audience, cares and understands warriors and warrioring differently than they otherwise would, I think that's at least a good foundation brick to caring about and paying attention to American foreign and defense policy.
Steve Grunman of the Atlantic Council, Michelle Collis-Brooks, playwright of War Words. Thanks so much for joining us, and we hope everybody checks out the podcast. We're going to have a podcast segment devoted to this. Stay tuned. Check us out. Podcast twice a week, sponsored by Bell.